I have noticed that in the many conferences I've attended with you, Cindy, that you are really intentional about what you want to get out of the experience, which, influences how you participate. So I'm curious, what advice do you have as it relates to attending a conference from an attendee perspective on how to really optimize that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know for everybody on this call, I'd go to the chat box. How many of you, when you see a conference and you think, oh my gosh, would love to attend that, and then you're like, what am I smoking? I have no time for this. How many of you have thought that? There's some of you want to attend and you're like, I have no way of doing this, right? Yeah. So for me, I'm in the same boat. I live at conferences because that's where I do my work is keynoting. So when I make a choice to attend something, I'm going to make sure it's really, really worth my while. So I do things from the get-go. First of all, I make the time to do it. If the content is something that can really help me, I am going to absolutely attend. But I do a couple of things to really make it worth my while. One is I commit to myself that I'm actually going to be present and attend it. I'm going to go to all the sessions. I'm not going to go for the phone. I'm going to have a notebook in front of me, not my phone, so that I'm really present and learning and doing what I need to do to absorb the material. So that's the first thing I do. Second thing I do is I am a voracious researcher. So many conferences will publish, they won't publish the names of people who are attending, but they'll publish like the titles and the companies. And I will constantly be looking at that and then thinking, are there people that I want to meet that might hold these positions? I'll get on LinkedIn, see if I can connect with people, whether I know them or not, and say, hey, it looks like you might be attending the XYZ conference. If you're there, I'd love to spend 15 minutes with you during the break. 90% of the time, people say yes to that. It might take me a couple times to get to the right people, but they'll say yes. The second thing, and this is my favorite thing to do, is I look at the sponsors, because more than likely the sponsors have some senior execs there that might be interesting, that I'd like to meet, that might like to meet me. And I'll do the same research on LinkedIn to see who might be there. And I also do it with speakers. Speakers are there to share their expertise. And 100% of the time, if you reach out to them and they have time, they will meet with you. So I use that time to build my network, build my learning, and frankly, to build my presence at the event. So, and I spend a good 2 hours probably pre-event doing that work a couple of weeks before in order to set meetings up, connect with people just so I can, if I see them, we can chat, et cetera.
Excellent. Thank you. Such excellent advice. And if you are an introvert, and I'm obviously generalizing here, that upfront research can really help to feel a little bit more comfortable and make the most out of the moment. And you talked about networking. We all know, we've heard it numerous times, we've experienced it, that one of the most valuable things that you can get out of these conference experiences is the ability to make new connections. I was reading in a recent Harvard Business Review article, this one study found that casual, what did they call them? Loose ties, I think, reduced as much as 21% in companies who shifted to remote work. So not your immediate network, but those on the second, third tier. And in the short term, that's not a big deal. In the long term, however, research shows that can decrease innovation because you're not regularly encountering and introducing yourself to new perspectives. So networking, cultivating new relationships should absolutely be one of the goals when attending conferences. We know, however, that may come naturally for some. For others, if you're thrust into a room and you don't know a soul, it can be kind of intimidating. And then if you layer onto that the anxiety you may be feeling about re-engaging in big crowds for the first time in a few years, it can be downright paralyzing. So, Sarah, I'm curious to know what advice do you have in those kinds of situations to kind of push through that anxiety, that nervousness, and really make the most out of the experience?
Well, of course, it's very easy. You just head for the bathroom, lock yourself in for half an hour, and don't come out. No, I'm joking. It is challenging, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who has actually done that. You know, it's time for networking, and I'm suddenly right. I'll go to the bathroom and take as much time as I can. My hands are super clean. I've washed them 10 times. Or you pick up your phone, and there you are. Look, scrolling through. There must be some emails I need to answer because I'm very important, and you're really missing out on that opportunity. And for me, what I do is I really focus on other people. I realize that if I'm finding it difficult to start networking and talk to strangers and people I don't know, it is 10 times more difficult for everybody else. So I start thinking about them. I look for people who are on their own or in small groups, and I just go up and start a conversation. And so think beforehand about questions that you might want to use, and don't ask about the weather or how did you get here. I mean, if I have to describe how I got here again, I'm just not interested in that. But think about, why are people coming here? What do they want to get out of this conference? What talks have they been to and why have they found those interesting? But really try and find out what people are looking for. Because if you can become a great resource, if you can start linking people, joining up the dots to help people connect with the people they need to see and they need to speak to, then that for me is what networking is all about. I started my own business many years ago, and that was the thing I most dreaded, was the networking, because everyone was trying to sell to me. You know, if there wasn't 10 people who could help coaches grow their business, and I think, well, if you're so great at it, why are you just helping coaches grow their business? It was kind of, they weren't growing themselves. So then I realized that actually you have to be more intentional again about what you want to get out of the networking experience. So for me, it's focus on other people, and also be clear about what you're looking for as well, because you can get so much out of it if you're clear about what is it that you want. Are you looking for a job promotion? Are you looking for somebody with expertise in a certain area? What are the introductions that you're hoping? Because there's this 6 degree of separation, isn't there? So everyone knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who can be of value to you. So share what you know and just be that fantastic resource.